Those were our major news highlights. Remember, we're streaming live on our Facebook page and on 3news.com. Up next is the big one. Welcome back. Now, 2 herdsmen have been killed with another in a critical condition at Attah Government Hospital. Some 1,500 cattle have also been killed last Sunday till date in the Attah Amantin district of the Bunahafo region.
Speaking to the press, Secretary to the Attah Amantin Fulani chief, Ahmed Tijani, alleged that they were attacked by some concumbers while leaving the district. According to him, they also killed some of the cattle and took away the meat. He further alleged that 5 motorbikes were stolen from them at gunpoint. He says most Fulanis are displaced and struggling to get a place to lay their heads. The secretary for Attah Amantin Cattle Association, Mahazu Yakubu, also pleaded with government to provide them with security as they leave the district for fear of being attacked.
Since last week Sunday, up to date, ya sondre nde ya ha kina ya ha ti ade esi na say onkofo bi afa omukuo na omukunkum ye nantwie sabe sabe o Fulani fo omo Ghana ha no ye 2 division ye Fulani bi a we local Fulani na o Fulani bi a e bi aba kwan ya so ba no is unapproved way, but any kwan say bi a wo de mera no hye wonsa na okunkum Fulani fo ombo sa ye mo be 1,000 omakum gerika omo yira so far ye hu omo so de omo do so e kan kwan e be du 500 e bi a e be te say bi a hanom ya botuo ye kunkum ye nkonfo so far nipa mienu na wu akuwo akokwa. They leech him to death without a gun. They leech the guy to get death. And they say I'm no kasano abubakwa ba kwa order at Attah Hospital.
Meanwhile, the police have assured the situation is under control.
And earlier on News 360, District Commander of the Attah Amantin, Superintendent Edward Cornell, told my colleague Abu Isamoni 1 herdsman was killed. He assured measures have been put in place to protect lives and property.
So I can confirm 1. This week, Monday, there was an incident at Akokwa where a concubine lady alleged that she went to fetch water at the outskirts of the town and was approached by a Fulani who asked for sexual advances, which she turned down. And unfortunately, out of anger, the alleged Fulani man pulled out a dagger or a knife and maybe sliced the head, the left shoulder, and the left thigh. And when news got to town, that's a poor town, that a concubine woman has been attacked by a Fulani headman. The concubine youth and elders in the town actually blocked the main Attah Amantin highway and were ostensibly looking for, stopping all cars to look for what is the Fulani men that may be on board to pull them down and also maybe take their town of place. So in fact, I had information, the chief also called me and we went there with a team of policemen. We were able to open up the blockade and try to ask them to give us information that may lead to the identity of the alleged Fulani man. So we're still trying to maintain the peace on the road and make sanity. When another information came that some people are alleging that they saw a Fulani man suspected to be the suspect who was taking refuge in a house at the outskirts of the town. And before we got there, they have already maybe broken into their house, taken out the Fulani man, and they just lynched him. So the police went there and took the body to Mount General Hospital for autopsy. So that's the only dead Fulani man I'm aware of. But this morning, I was informed that another Fulani man was shot in Attah town in the night, or maybe possibly at dawn this morning, and he's currently on admission at the Attah Government Hospital.
Right, let's do some analysis on this. David Agbe is Executive Director of the Ghana Institute of Governance and Security. He joins us on phone now. David, it's been a while. Good evening and thank you very much. I know you have been following this issue for years. There are now many concerns that we possibly are not doing things right. What are we missing?
Yes, Steve. I mean, we are missing so many things. In that we are just allowing people to perpetrate all kinds of criminal activities and get away with it. And in society, if you do not prevent and ensure that people who perpetrate all kinds of criminal activities are not brought to book. It will, just encourage other group of people that here we are. I mean,
so David, when you say those who are perpetrating criminal acts, are you referring to the nomads, or you're referring to those who are killing the cattle belonging to the nomads? Who exactly are these recalcitrants you're referring to?
I mean, both sides of the divide. Here we are that we have so many reports that suggest that these nomadics are killing ordinary people, raping women, perpetrating all kinds of criminal activities. I mean, Agogo and Interveron, you've been reporting that quite recently they even killed policemen and shot, military men and all that. And ordinary citizens too are taking a cue from all those, reports that suggest that if really the state is not, trying to protect ordinary people, they will also take the law into their own hands, just like you are reporting from Attah and its environment. I mean, look at the report coming that a Fulani man was just trying to, do all kinds of things to a woman. And so that, energized the society that, no, they cannot allow those things to happen. And so at this point in time, the state needs to actually take action. But you look at things, the state is not trying to protect its citizens. And so people would like to do their own things to, protect themselves.
Right.
And
but David, talking
Why
about...
do we allow people to be, doing all kinds of things and get away with it?
Talking about the state, David, we're talking about the state. In Agogo, for instance, there being a police military team cracking down on the Fulani herdsmen, enforcing a court order to move the cattle and herdsmen away from Agogo land. The outcomes of that have been bloody. Cattle have been shot. Some of the owners are complaining that their cattle are being killed indiscriminately. So this is an action from government which is still receiving backlash, and there are those who say that the approach is wrong. So what kind of action would you say will be appropriate action from state actors?
Yes, Steve, some of us, we've called for those actions, especially the military. The collaboration between the military and the police to intervene in that process, because we've talked about this matter for so long a time, and it has gotten to a point that the state needs to do a critical analysis of the situation and be able to protect its citizens. And I believe exactly that is what the state is doing now in respect of Agogo. And it is becoming more complex. Look at Attah and its environs and all that. Why do we allow all those criminal activities to take place and then the people get away with it? And so if you live in a country and you are not protected by, the state, we are not living in a jungle. And so preventive actions need to be taken by the state so that it could ensure everybody that, no, we live in a very governance society, so people cannot do whatever they want to do. And so if these nomadic men are perpetrating all kinds of criminal activities and then they get away with it, why, I can't get it.
I can imagine that.
But David, the state needs to take a preventive action.
But David, there are those who say that some of the Ghanaian herdsmen, the owners of cattle, say that they are not the ones destroying farms, but rather the foreign herdsmen who are coming into Ghana. I'm asking this on the back of the fact that we do have the ECOWAS protocol of free movement of persons and goods and services and all of that. Do you think, as a member of ECOWAS, we're biting more than we can chew?
Steve, do not forget that I also belong to international relations, and that is what we do best, trying to respect international protocols and be able to do critical analysis about all that. But then reading through the ECOWAS protocol, it does not give me a gist or any justification that go into any other country and start molesting women, killing women, raping women.
Right.
And then when the security agencies, are trying to put in preventive measures, kill them and all that. My knowledge as far as international relations and respecting international protocols and respecting international institutions and all that, do not give me the slightest idea that, I mean, the international protocol permits you to go into any other neighboring countries and be perpetrating criminal activities and get away with it. It doesn't work within the international system. And so preventive measures is what government needs to take and be able to protect its citizens against some of these atrocities, going on within the country.
Right, David, thank you very much, extremely. David Agbe is Executive Director of the Ghana Institute of Governance and Security. You're still watching News at 10, and we're live from the News Hub at Adisawe, Kanda, and Accra. We have more news for you. Please stay. Welcome back. Now, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is currently in the United Kingdom on what the Office of the President calls medical leave. Our reporter in the UK, Pakwisi Asari, earlier spoke on News 360 with Solace Rose Quarty.
The Vice President is at the Guy's Hospital. A few background search on the Guy's Hospital. It's one of the largest, teaching hospitals in central London. It's part of the Guy's and the St. Thomas NHS Foundation Trust, and it's one of the institutions that comprise of the King's Health Partners and Academic Health Science Centre. We understand that indeed the Ghana's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Papa Winswankuma, was there early today to pay a visit to him, including some members of the MPP here in the United Kingdom. We also understand that the Vice President is pretty much responding to treatment at the hospital.
And Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Professor Michael Quay, is expected to be sworn in as President Sunday. President Akufo-Addo is expected to leave Ghana for Liberia, while the Vice President is already in the United Kingdom on medical leave. Parliament has been recalled to sit on Sunday, 21st January at 2:30 in the afternoon at the Parliament House, Accra, for the swearing-in of the Speaker as acting President of the Republic, according to Articles 60, 11 and 12 of the 1992 Constitution. On to other stories. Residents of Pristina in the Western region want government to urgently review all existing mining laws to prevent what they call looting of the country's resources. Mining activities in Pristina and environs have been shut down, leading to hardship, which the people blamed on expatriates and inappropriate regulatory mechanisms.
Gold mining in Pristina began in 1873, making it one of the oldest mining sites in Ghana. Independent gold mining companies in Pristina were later merged by government in the 1960s. But this was rather a bad decision for indigenes of Pristina, as it put most of them out of the job.
The situation has brought untold hardship onto us. No employment opportunities, leading to divorce and premature deaths. The galamsey that was helping some people have also been banned by government.
I no longer make sales because there are no jobs in this community. My husband has been laid off from the mine, and life is unbearable.
Expatriate mining firms were given monopoly over the mineral deposit. To date, residents say foreign companies continue to mill the country's resources, leaving the communities poorer.
If I'm to go back in 2004, when Anglo Gold was coming, Ram Gold was there. I wanted to give much than Anglo Gold was giving, but Anglo Gold promised us about 10 stadia for volleyball. Ask yourself whether they have even built one. They always just want to take advantage of the situation.
The mining of gold caused environmental problems, pollution and contamination of their sources of potable water with waste. The Pristina community has suffered from the detrimental effect of over a century of mining activities with no major development in the area. Roads, educational facilities and infrastructure are all in a bad state.
Pristina used to be a lively, active town, but that is no more. Government needs to intervene.
Sankofa, the only state-owned gold mining in Pristina, suffered from financial mismanagement and collapsed.
2 investors came here and they have even made some payments, but still we have not seen any major change. We feel that the government is not paying more attention to their needs because we don't hear anything from them.
One of the expatriate gold companies sold its right to a Canadian company, Golden Star Resources, due to losses. Several workers were laid off, resulting in socio-economic challenges. Residents blamed the development on Ghana's mining laws.
We cannot continue to make laws that will give our properties to foreigners. Government must set up now and get investors who would give us value for money.
We give out our natural resources to foreigners through concession. They mine our resources and give us pittance, and that is accounting for our underdevelopment. How much do we earn from gold? How much do we earn from those people, from our oil?
Others want government intervention.
The government should take a step to create that stability agreement, because investors are there wanting to come and then take up those mining that this company are just trying to lord over them.
Deputy Minister of Lands and Natural Resources in charge of mining, Barbara Tinjesi, admitted the challenge but noted government will deal with it.
There are certain rules and regulations that the company has to comply with when it's operating in the area. It has to satisfy certain local content and regulations, and they will abide by that by ensuring that they engage certain skills from the local community.
Until then, the people of Pristina and environs would continue to endure hardship as they struggle for survival, even with the abundance of an important natural resource, gold.
And the 69th edition of the University of Ghana's New Year School has come to an end. The theme was on job creation for accelerated national development. But of what significance is the school to national development over the years? Peter Kwadato has been seeking answers in the following report.
The University of Ghana New Year School began in the late 40s as a social academic platform to deliberate on national issues. It has gone through several transformations to become the longest existing platform for generating development ideas. At the end of each school, which is held in the first month of the new year, varying policy frameworks are proposed for adoption by government towards national development.
We have come out with several policies that has enriched our political, socio-economic and cultural lives. And we can lay hand on quite a number of them, over the years.
Outcomes of the several meaningful proposals from the New Year School continue to shape the focus of policies in the country over the years. Significant in recent years are the national health insurance, the transition from military rule to the Fourth Republic, the use of transparent ballot box in electioneering development, oil and gas regulation, local content bill, among others.
A host of other, policies emanated from the annual New Year School. So the annual New Year School has been a key platform. It's been very crucial as far as our development is concerned. That is how come it's been sustained.
In the views of a senior lecturer at the Department of Economics, University of Ghana, Dr. Rikose Sibe, the school remained a key factor in the democratization process of the country, insisting a broad-based support is needed for it to play its role much more effectively.
The headmistress of Jowolu Special School, Veronica Saki, has encouraged parents of children with special needs to take keen interest in their educational development. She says that such children need affection and special care to enable them develop.
Jowolu's Special School for the Intellectually Disabled was established in 1970 by some concerned individuals who felt the need to put these children in a safe environment. With an increase in enrollment in 1974 and lack of funds to pay staff, the school has handed over to Ghana Education Service. It is a non-profit co-educational boarding school for students with learning disabilities and differences. The school, aside government support, also gets assistance from individuals and institutions to help in its operations. in recognition of Jolu Special School's specialized and effective program as well as its challenges. Ghana Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors, led by its Chief Executive Officer, Senyor Hosi, donated assorted items such as disinfectants, toiletries, 2 bags of 100 kilogram maize, 3 boxes of insecticides, 10 bags of 25 kilogram rice, a lawn mower, and a check, all worth 10,000 cedis.
And for any economy in any country to really grow, we have to maximize the potential of our human resources. Our special needs persons are very important people, and the work you do capacitates them to be productive within the entire economic space. So I really want to congratulate the teachers for a good job done. It's obvious when you get here how challenged the resources are.
The headmistress of the school called on the community to help the school in order to provide the needed assistance to pupils.
School has just reopened. We'll have kids to feed and then cater for. They could have gone to any orphanage, but they've chosen Jolu Special School, which we say we highly appreciate.
Head of Corporate and Regulatory Affairs at Ghana Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors, Daisy Edem Attah, promised to continue supporting the school to help empower students with learning disabilities and differences to recognize and optimize their potential throughout their lives.
We decided to donate to them because we are in the same area with them. This is Jolu, we are in Abiling Place, just a stone throw from here. And also because we realize that they need help in taking care of the children that they are taking care of. They are doing a good job, and we thought that will help them to continue the good work that they are doing.
And the 17-member development committee has been inaugurated in the Talensi traditional area to help transform and also conserve some tourist sites. Inaugurating the committee, Paramount Chief of the Talensi traditional area, Tongiram Kubil Song, appealed to government agencies and benevolent organizations to invest in tourism.
Talensi Traditional Council in the Talensi district of the Upper East region is well endowed with a number of tourist sites. The traditional area is also rich in gold and diamond deposits as well as quarry activities. The Pualugu Tomato Factory and the only police training school in the 3 regions of the north are located in the Talensi district. The Paramount Chief of the Talensi Traditional Area has therefore inaugurated a 17-member development committee to draw up a general development plan. The area of interest to the development committee is agriculture, culture, tourism, cottage industry, education, youth employment, health and roads.
The committee's role for now is expected to draw up a general development plan for the Talensi traditional area so as to collaborate with other development partners such as the District Assembly, NGOs, the private sector, and in fact, certain embassies within the country who are ready to support us.
The chief appealed to government agencies and benevolent organizations to come invest in these areas. We visited the Tenzung shrines, Hyena Hidden and Donkey Caves to appreciate the concerns of the Paramount Chief of the Talensi traditional area. The team toured caves, shrines, stone layout and the Tenzung chief household accommodating 367 people, including 23 wives with 115 children.
And that's it for News at 10. I'm Stephen Enti. Thanks for staying. On behalf of the crew, good night and enjoy your weekend.